Blackwood coughed, spitting gravel as Silas wrestled it onto the narrow, overgrown drive. Rain lashed against the windshield, blurring the already oppressive silhouette of Blackwood Estate against the bruised twilight sky. "Damn fool idea," Silas muttered, his voice strained. "Playing in things you don't understand." Elias stared out at the mansion, a knot of dread tightening in his gut. The place seemed to breathe malice. "You said it was the only place to find answers." He felt different. A subtle hum resonated beneath his skin, a vibration he couldn't quite place. He glanced at his reflection in the rearview mirror. Something was wrong. His eyes seemed brighter, sharper, almost luminous. "Answers come at a price, boy," Silas grunted, shifting into gear. "A steep one." They parked near a crumbling conservatory, its glass panes cracked and stained with grime. The air hung heavy with the scent of damp earth and something else, something sickly sweet and unsettling. "The fragments," Silas said, consulting a faded blueprint. "The caretaker thinks he can piece them back together, restore the harmony." Elias felt a pang of unease. The word harmony felt wrong. Corrupted. Restore it to what? To a state of equilibrium. The caretaker's voice echoed in Elias's memory, clipped and precise. A refinement of existence. An elevation of consciousness. Silas snorted. "Sounds like a load of hogwash to me." He produced a revolver, its metal cold against his trembling hand. "Stay close. Don't touch anything." The conservatory led to a long, descending staircase, carved into the bedrock beneath the estate. Portraits lined the walls, their eyes seeming to follow Elias's every move. As they descended, the portraits began to shift, not dramatically, but subtly. A slight tilt of the head, a fleeting change in expression. Elias felt a wave of dizziness. "You seen this?" he asked, clutching his head. Silas squinted. "Seen what?" "The portraits, they're moving." Silas dismissed his words with a wave of his hand. "Your nerves are frayed, boy. It's the damp." The staircase opened into a circular chamber, the air thick with a palpable sense of dread. Strange artifacts lay scattered across the floor, brass orbs, tarnished silver instruments, and intricately carved wooden boxes. Dominating the room was a large, ornate table upon which rested a scattering of glittering shards, the fragments of the shattered music box. The caretaker stood beside the table, bathed in the ethereal glow of a single, flickering lamp. He turned, his face gaunt and impassive. "Welcome, Mr. Silas. And you, Elias. I see you've arrived." "You're playing a dangerous game, Caretaker," Silas said, his voice tight with warning. He leveled the revolver. "Leave him alone." "Dangerous? No, Mr. Silas. I'm offering salvation. You cling to your archaic notions of good and evil, while I strive for a higher understanding." He gestured to the fragments. "With these I can restore the harmony. I can elevate humanity." Elias felt a searing pain in his head. Images flooded his mind, swirling colors, distorted faces, a feeling of being pulled apart and reassembled. He stumbled, pressing his hand to his temple. His reflection in a nearby silver orb was unsettling. His eyes burned with an unnatural light, and the lines of his face seemed subtly altered, sharper, more angular. "He's been influenced," a voice whispered in his ear. A fleeting image of the fragmented woman flickered into existence beside him, her form translucent and unstable. "The harmony corrupts. You must resist." "What did you say?" Elias asked, looking around frantically. The caretaker's eyes narrowed. "You're hearing things, Elias. It's a side effect of your resonance." "Resonance?" Elias echoed, feeling a strange power surge within him. He reached out, his hand instinctively drawn to the fragments on the table. As his fingers brushed against the silver shards, a wave of energy pulsed outwards, knocking Silas off his feet. The fragments glowed with an intense, otherworldly light. "You interfere!" The caretaker's voice rose in a fury. He lunged forward, but Elias, fueled by an unfamiliar power, instinctively pushed back, disrupting the flow of energy. "You cannot control it," the fragmented woman cried. "It chooses its own vessel." The light intensified, bathing the chamber in a blinding radiance. When it subsided, the fragments of the music box were gone. The chamber seemed to tremble. "You've only delayed the inevitable," the caretaker hissed, his face twisted with rage. "The harmony will return. It always does." Elias looked down at his hands, trembling with a power he didn't understand. He caught a final glimpse of his reflection in the silver orb. His eyes were no longer his own. They held a distant, unsettling luminescence, the gaze of something ancient and alien. He felt a voice in his mind, not his own, whispering, "Asterisk, the music plays on, asterisk." Silas struggled to his feet, brushing himself off. "We need to leave. Now." He looked at Elias with a mixture of fear and apprehension. What was that? Elias didn't answer. He felt a growing sense of unease, a feeling that something profound and terrible had been awakened within him. The music hadn't stopped, it had simply changed key.